Welcome the anointed ones. Some people are born ordinary, some are born extraordinary, and then there are the chosen ones who make you question if they're even human at all. What if I told you there's a rare breed of individuals walking among us whose energy feels less like a personality and more like a phenomenon? Science may not have a term for it, but psychologists call it awe-inducing presence, while others simply say, "How does someone like you even exist?" Now here's a wild fact. Studies show that humans can subconsciously detect someone's energy within 7 seconds of meeting them. But when it comes to a chosen one, those 7 seconds stretch into a lifetime. Why? Because their presence leaves a mark you can't shake off. And while you're out here wondering if they're powered by coffee, kale, or some cosmic cheat code, the truth is far simpler. They're just built differently. Their aura doesn't whisper. It roars, "I'm here and you'll never forget me." So buckle up. By the end of this video, you might start questioning if you've crossed paths with one of these rare souls, or even more intriguing, if you're the one people can't stop marveling at. Number 1, you radiate a frequency beyond the ordinary. You radiate a frequency that's beyond what most people can comprehend. It's not something you do intentionally, it's just who you are. When you walk into a room, the energy shifts. People notice without even realizing it, like they're responding to something invisible, yet undeniable. Your presence doesn't just demand attention, it commands it, leaving others both curious and unsettled. It's not about being loud or flashy. You can be completely silent, and yet somehow all eyes find their way to you. What makes this so extraordinary is that your energy doesn't operate on the usual wavelengths. Most people move through life in predictable patterns, but you don't fit into any box they can recognize. To some, it feels like standing near a thunderstorm, electrifying but also intimidating. They can't explain why they're drawn to you or why they feel slightly off balance in your presence, but they know you're not like anyone else they've met. This frequency you emit isn't just charisma or confidence, it's deeper than that. It's the way you carry yourself with an unshakable sense of purpose, even if you're not actively trying to prove anything. You have a quiet intensity, a kind of magnetic pull that people can't escape. It leaves them wondering, how can one person exude so much without even trying? Your energy also challenges the norms. It's almost as if it disrupts the comfortable rhythm of mediocrity that most people live in. They sense something rare, something they can't touch or replicate, and it leaves them in awe. Whether they admit it or not, your energy forces people to feel, sometimes for the first time in years. It's not just a presence, it's an experience, and it's unforgettable. Number 2, you defy the conventional rules of aging and time. You seem to defy time itself, as if the usual rules of aging don't apply to you. People can't figure it out. They look at you and wonder why you seem so vibrant, so full of life, while others around them are weighed down by the years. It's not just your physical appearance, though that alone is striking. It's the energy you carry, the light in your eyes, the way you move through life like someone untouched by the heaviness of the world. To most people, aging is about decline. They expect you to lose your spark, to settle into the dull routines that life often imposes. But you don't play by those rules. While they're dragging their feet, you're walking taller, smiling brighter, and looking like you've figured out some secret formula. And maybe you have. It's not about creams, diets, or gym memberships. It's about the way you've aligned yourself with something deeper. You've chosen authenticity over pretense, growth over stagnation, and peace over chaos. This alignment gives you a kind of glow, a vitality that can't be bottled or bought. People notice it even if they can't name it. They might ask, "What's your secret?" But what they're really asking is, how do you seem so alive when life has drained the rest of us? This defiance of time isn't just external, it's in your spirit. You're not weighed down by regrets, grudges, or the need for validation. That inner freedom reflects outward, making you seem ageless. You're proof that life doesn't have to wear you down. It can elevate you if you let it. And that, more than anything, is what leaves people speechless. Number 3, you have an aura that feels like home. There's something about you that feels familiar to people, even if they've just met you. It's as if your presence taps into a part of them they didn't even know existed, like you're the missing piece to a puzzle they've been trying to solve their entire lives. It's not something you say or do, it's just in the way you are. You carry an energy that feels safe, like home, yet simultaneously awakens something powerful and unexplainable. People feel comfortable around you, often opening up in ways they never thought they could. It's not uncommon for strangers to share their deepest secrets or for friends to say things like, "I don't know why, but I feel like I can tell you anything." That's the effect you have. It's not about charm or persuasion. It's about the way your energy quietly dismantles walls that others have spent years building. But it's more than just comfort. You stir something deeper in people, something primal. They might not be able to articulate it, but being around you feels like being reminded of something they've lost. It's almost as if you're a bridge to something bigger than themselves, a connection to a higher truth, a forgotten wisdom, or a sense of belonging they didn't even know they craved. This duality is what makes your energy so unique. On one hand, you make people feel at ease, but on the other, you challenge them to confront parts of themselves they'd rather avoid. It's comforting and unsettling all at once, leaving people both drawn to you and completely mystified by how someone like you could exist. You're not just someone they meet, you're someone they feel on a soul-deep level. Number 4. Your words carry the weight of truth. When you speak, it's not just conversation, it's revelation. There's a weight to your words that people can't ignore, a depth that hits them in ways they never anticipated. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it. Your voice carries a conviction that feels almost otherworldly, as if the universe itself has chosen you as its messenger. Each word lands with precision, like it was tailored specifically for the moment, leaving people hanging on to every syllable. Your words have a way of cutting through the noise, bypassing shallow pleasantries and getting straight to the heart of the matter. They don't just resonate, they echo, staying with people long after the conversation has ended. It's not uncommon for someone to replay your words in their mind, realizing later how profoundly they've been impacted. They may not always admit it, but your truth forces them to reflect, to reconsider their choices, and sometimes to confront uncomfortable realities they've been avoiding. This can make you unforgettable, even unsettling. For some, your ability to speak with such clarity is inspiring, like a light cutting through the fog of confusion. For others, it's intimidating, as if you've exposed truths they weren't ready to face. Either way, your words carry a power that demands attention. You don't waste breath on meaningless chatter, and people feel that. When you speak, it's with purpose, and that's rare in a world so full of empty noise. Your voice becomes a mirror, reflecting truths that others may not even realize they needed to hear. It's not just communication, it's transformation, and that's why your words are remembered long after they're spoken. Number 5. You see through the matrix of deception. Your mind is like a finely tuned instrument, effortlessly cutting through the noise of deception and illusion. You don't just see the world as it's presented, you see the layers beneath, the motivations, the manipulations, the hidden hands pulling the strings. Where others might take things at face value, you question, analyze, and expose. It's not paranoia. It's clarity, a kind of vision that's unclouded by the distractions most people fall victim to. This makes you a force to be reckoned with. For those who thrive on lies and illusions, you're a problem they can't solve. You don't just recognize dishonesty, you dismantle it. When someone tries to deceive you, it's as though they're walking into a spotlight they didn't know was there. You pick up on the subtle inconsistencies, the tone that doesn't match the words, the body language that betrays their intentions, the energy that doesn't align with the story they're telling. It's not just about being intelligent. Plenty of people are smart, but still trapped within the constructs of societal norms. Your gift lies in seeing the system itself, the rules that were designed to keep people complacent, the narratives that maintain control, the fears that manipulate decisions. You see through it all, and you don't play along. This clarity makes you dangerous to those who rely on deception to maintain power. They can't manipulate you because you've already spotted their game before they've even made their move. It's not just unsettling, it's terrifying for them. They're used to people falling in line, but you're the one who steps out of formation and says, "I see exactly what you're doing." And in that moment, their illusions crumble. Number 6, you emit an energy that heals and terrifies. Your energy is a paradox, comforting yet confronting, healing yet unsettling. It's as if you carry an invisible force that draws out the truth in others, whether they're ready for it or not. When you're around, people feel seen, not just on the surface, but at the core of who they are. This is why some find solace in your presence, while others feel completely unraveled. To those who are open to growth, your energy feels like a balm. It soothes their chaos, bringing clarity where there was confusion. You don't even have to say much. Just being there creates a space where they can breathe, reflect, and begin to heal. It's not magic, though it may feel that way to them. It's simply your ability to hold a mirror to their soul, allowing them to see their own light and potential. But for those hiding behind masks or clinging to illusions, your presence is like a spotlight they didn't ask for. They may not understand why, but being near you feels unsettling, even threatening. It's not that you're trying to expose them. It's that your energy naturally strips away pretenses. Their insecurities rise to the surface. Their carefully constructed facades start to crack, and they're left face to face with parts of themselves they've avoided. This duality makes your presence powerful. People can't stay indifferent to you. They either lean in, craving the healing you unconsciously offer, or they retreat, unable to handle the truths you reveal. It's a blessing for those ready to embrace it, and a curse for those who fear change. But either way, your energy leaves a lasting impact, forcing people to confront who they really are. Number 7. You're unshakably aligned with a higher purpose. Your life isn't dictated by fleeting trends, shallow ambitions, or external validation. While others chase after titles, money, and approval, you move through the world with a deeper sense of purpose that feels almost untouchable. It's not arrogance, it's certainty. You know who you are, why you're here, and what truly matters, and that alignment gives you a quiet strength that most people can't fathom. This inner knowing doesn't mean you don't face challenges, far from it. But where others are derailed by setbacks, you remain steady. Obstacles that would shake most people to their core barely ripple your surface. It's not that you're immune to pain or disappointment, it's that you understand these moments are temporary and often serve a greater purpose in your journey. This perspective makes you seem almost invincible to those watching from the outside. People are drawn to you because of this alignment, though they might not fully understand it. They see someone who doesn't flinch in the face of adversity, who doesn't bend to societal pressures, and it leaves them in awe. At the same time, it can trigger envy or confusion. They wonder, how does someone stay so grounded in a world designed to shake us? The truth is, your alignment isn't about perfection. It's about priority. You've chosen to focus on what truly matters: growth, authenticity, and fulfilling the higher purpose you're connected to. That choice has set you apart, making you a beacon for those seeking clarity and a challenge to those clinging to superficiality. Your invincibility isn't about avoiding life's storms. It's about standing tall through them, knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be. Number 8. You challenge the very idea of human limitations. You operate on a level that makes people reconsider what's possible. Whether it's the way you overcome challenges, the depth of your resilience, or the scope of your achievements, there's something about you that feels otherworldly. You don't just defy expectations, you shatter them, leaving people in awe of how someone could handle life with such strength, grace, and precision. To the outside world, you're an enigma. You face obstacles that would crush others, yet you come out stronger, almost as if the adversity fuels you. It's not that you don't feel the weight of life's struggles. You do. But where most would break, you bend. Where others see walls, you find doorways. This ability to rise above circumstances leaves people inspired but also unsettled, forcing them to confront the limits they've placed on themselves. What makes you even more remarkable is that you never come off as invincible or detached. You carry both strength and vulnerability, proving that resilience isn't about shutting down emotions, but learning how to move through them without losing yourself. This balance of power and humanity is rare, and it's what makes your presence so impactful. people can't help but compare themselves to you. They wonder, how does someone like this even exist? How are they not only surviving but thriving under pressure? It's not just your actions, it's the way you embody the idea that limits are often illusions. You don't just challenge the boundaries others believe in. You dissolve them entirely, showing by example that we're all capable of more than we realize. In your presence, people start to question their own excuses and limitations, and that's a kind of power few can claim to possess. Number 9. You disrupt power dynamics without trying. You don't have to raise your voice or make a grand statement to shake things up. Your very existence challenges the power dynamics around you, and you do it effortlessly. You don't seek control, but when you walk into a room, the atmosphere changes. It's like an invisible force reorders everything. People who once thought they held the upper hand suddenly feel uncertain, while those who've been overlooked are drawn to your energy, finding themselves empowered by your presence. You disrupt the status quo just by being yourself, and that's what makes your influence so profound. Leaders in particular feel threatened by you. It's not because you challenge their authority directly, but because your authenticity and self-assurance expose the cracks in their own leadership. They sense that you don't need their approval to exist, and that makes them uncomfortable. They've worked hard to maintain control, but you effortlessly undermine their efforts without lifting a finger. At the same time, followers are drawn to you. They recognize something in you that they may not even consciously understand, an alignment with truth, strength, and self-possession that inspires them to break free from the confines of their own limitations. You don't lead by domination, you lead by example. You show them a path to confidence, to independence, to self-reliance. And that's a much more powerful form of leadership than any position could offer. Manipulators, on the other hand, can't stand you. You see right through them, and your mere presence exposes their hidden agendas. They can't pull the wool over your eyes. And the more you exist in your truth, the more uncomfortable they become, realizing they can't control you or anyone else. In the end, you shift the balance without lifting a finger, just by being exactly who you are. And that is a power that no one can replicate. Number 10. Your isolation feels like a mystery. There's an undeniable allure to your solitude. People are drawn to your energy, and yet they can't quite grasp why you choose to retreat from it all. Your need for space doesn't make sense to them. It's as if you're hiding a secret or living in a dimension they can't reach. They watch as you pull back, and a sense of mystery grows around you. It's not that you're trying to shut the world out. It's that you're guarding something far too precious to give away freely. Your solitude isn't a sign of weakness or disinterest. It's a powerful act of self-preservation. You understand your energy is rare, and that giving too much of it away too often can dilute its power. When you retreat, you're not running from people. You're reclaiming your own essence. Your inner world is a place of rare depth, and you know that only by spending time in it can you replenish what the outside world takes from you. To others, your isolation creates a sense of longing. They don't understand why you don't constantly seek connection or validation, and they can't fathom why you seem so content on your own. They've been taught that constant interaction is necessary for fulfillment, but you've learned that true fulfillment comes from being at peace with yourself, from aligning with your own energy rather than trying to feed off the energy of others. What people don't realize is that your moments of withdrawal are when you're actually the most connected to your true self. You're not running away from the world. You're preparing to offer it your most powerful, authentic self. Your isolation isn't a mystery to you. It's an essential part of the magic you bring to everything you touch. Number 11. Your existence forces others to reflect. Simply being around you is enough to spark profound change in others, whether they're ready for it or not. Your existence acts like a mirror that reflects back the truth of who people really are. It's not about what you say or do, it's about the energy you radiate. The impact you have is subtle, yet undeniable. For some, it's inspiring, pushing them to elevate themselves and pursue the highest version of who they could be. They start questioning their limits, their choices, and their potential in ways they never have before. You show them that they are capable of far more than they ever thought, and they rise to meet that new vision of themselves. But for others, your presence can be a wake-up call that they aren't quite ready for. The discomfort they feel when they encounter you is a direct result of the gap between where they are and where they could be. Your energy forces them to confront their own shortcomings, their unfulfilled potential, and the ways they've settled for less than they deserve. It can be paralyzing. Instead of being inspired to grow, they may find themselves frozen in fear, overwhelmed by the discrepancy between the person they are and the person they could become. They can't help but feel the weight of their own limitations, and they often try to avoid you because it brings them face to face with all the things they've been running from. You are a catalyst for transformation, whether others choose to embrace it or not. When people encounter you, they're forced to reckon with their own lives and choices. They either rise to meet the challenge of becoming their best selves, or they retreat from the discomfort of seeing their own potential. Either way, you leave a lasting impression, leaving them changed in some way, whether it's through inspiration or reflection. Number 12, you make the impossible seem achievable. When people witness what you're capable of, they're often left speechless. You don't just survive difficult situations, you thrive in them. Whether it's your resilience, creativity, or the sheer force of will you bring to bear, you make the impossible seem almost trivial. Challenges that would break most people only seem to fuel you, and others watch in awe as you defy all odds. It's not magic, but it sure feels like it to those who are observing. You embody the kind of hope that others can't quite put into words. When they look at you, they see someone who pushes beyond the boundaries of what they thought was possible, and it changes their entire outlook on life. People are conditioned to believe there are limits to what they can achieve, to how much they can endure, and to the kind of life they can live. You, however, are the living contradiction to that belief. You redefine the standard of what's achievable and stretch the idea of what's possible. Your ability to take on the hardest challenges and come out on top forces others to confront their own excuses and self-imposed limits. When they look at you, they begin to wonder, if they can do this, what's stopping me? The way you handle adversity makes it clear that true strength doesn't come from avoiding challenges. It comes from meeting them head-on and emerging stronger every time. You don't just show people that the impossible can be done. You show them that it's a mindset, a choice to push through when everything seems stacked against you. And when people see you do it time and time again, they begin to believe that maybe, just maybe, they can do the same. You become living proof that human potential is limitless, and that is a power few can deny. In a world that thrives on limitations, you stand as living proof that boundaries are meant to be broken. Your existence isn't just extraordinary, it's a constant reminder to everyone around you that the impossible is only a perception, not a reality. You don't seek to impress, but your very presence forces transformation in those who encounter you. From your unshakable energy to your ability to thrive in situations where others falter, you challenge everything people think they know about themselves and their potential. You don't just exist, you shift the world around you, making others confront their own truth, their own capabilities, and their own limitations. Leaders may feel threatened, followers feel inspired, and even manipulators are exposed in your wake. You move through life like an unstoppable force, leaving a trail of people who are either rising to meet the challenge you represent, or retreating to avoid the mirror you hold up to their insecurities. In the end, what you offer the world isn't just the power of success or strength, it's the undeniable truth that human potential has no bounds. You make the impossible seem achievable, and in doing so you awaken a deeper, often unspoken part of those around you. They start questioning what they've accepted as their limitations, and begin to wonder if they, too, could become something greater. You don't need to speak loudly or demand attention. Your energy speaks volumes, and the world listens. You are the proof that when you live in alignment with your true essence, there are no limits to what you can achieve, and no one can ever underestimate your power again. You are a force, an enigma, a mystery, and the world will never be the same because you exist. If this message resonated with you, if you felt that spark of recognition deep within, don't let it fade. This is the energy you've been waiting for, the kind of awakening that can change everything. If you want more of this truth, more of these revelations, and more ways to unlock your true potential, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Join this community of like-minded souls who are ready to embrace the extraordinary, the limitless, and the unapologetically powerful. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this journey is only just beginning, and you don't want to miss a single moment of what's coming next. Together, we're not just changing the game, we're rewriting the rules. Welcome to your next level. God bless you.